working collaboratively, respectfully. They have to listen to each other. We work on eye contact during that time. We work on full body listening during that time, so that then when they get to their groups later on in the day, we can be like, okay, full body listening or direct eye contact, and they'll have those skills from CPR.
I really like CPR because everyone gets to talk, and we have a share, and sometimes we have a choice of what we want to do.
And so we decided to adopt a sort of a workshop schedule for mostly our math and our writing, but it's really a lot of different subjects that happen during our workshop time.
Little slips of paper. Then we have a big paper that's kind of like a grid, and you write down what your schedule is. Like maybe on Monday I have Mr. Taylor, then free writing, then Tuesday maybe Miss Williams, then ninja math. Well, Miss Williams and Mr. Taylor, they have math and reading groups and writing, and you can have free writing time or time to work on a writing piece that's due at the end of each month, or you can do math practice for Mr. Taylor's classes.
Sometimes you'll have Miss Huff or Miss Jarvis or Miss DeLay. That's when you're going out of team to go to a workshop, because maybe your teacher wants you to go have a little bit extra time doing work, like writing, math, or spelling.
One of the things that's really helpful is that we're not conflicting with any other schedule. I am their LA teacher for the time they're with me. And one of the nice things I think that I've been able to do is kind of collaborate with Melissa and say, so what are you guys working on? I feel like I also need to address Tier 1 and Tier 2 curriculum, so that whatever I do in Tier 2 I want to relate somehow to Tier 1. It's awesome not to have them feel like they're being taken out of something or they're missing something. Like they're not missing another offering during iBlock. They know everyone's doing math or language arts or something around literacy or math, and so they feel like coming to us is just like another part of class.
Ms. DeLay taught us more of fractions, and Mr. Taylor taught us more of different things than fractions. He taught us about fractions, but not as much as Ms. DeLay has.
Open area models weren't efficient enough, so they are efficient, but Ms. DeLay found a quicker way for us to do it.
As far as I know, they're getting math not only during workshop, but also during their morning meeting time. Maybe not every day, but some days they're incorporating number talks and working on some other concepts. And they also have their problem solving block, and they're doing a lot of math in there, and they're integrating math into science as well. So I'm not necessarily their only math that they're getting, which allows me to really focus on the gaps that they have and the things that they've missed from previous grade levels. And the small group environment really allows them to talk out their misconceptions with each other and build off of each other's thinking and not be afraid of being wrong, which I think is helpful for these Tier 2 kids. In previous years, kids have always seen coming to me for intervention as, why do I have to do this extra work, this extra math? I don't want to do more math. I already have math class in my day. But the kids that I see coming from Quest just see it as, I'm here for a workshop. and I'm either doing math or I'm doing language arts, just like everybody else in the classroom. So there's not that same sort of stigma that's had in the past.
And then we have problem solving, which it's a wide variety of things. Like a lot of times we'll kind of like perplexers, kind of. I don't know if that's the right word. And sometimes like math, to put the marshmallow, well, it doesn't really matter where you put the marshmallow, but it just can't fall over. That was very hard.
Problem solving, and that is integrated. So right now we're doing mystery Skypes, so they are working together to come up with questions for their the mystery school. So they're using geography skills, they're using map skills. I'm assessing them on a collaboration proficiency, which is collaborate effectively and respectfully, so they can collaborate in a small group, but also as a large group. We're going to incorporate math in there, because when we find out where that person is from, we have to calculate miles, so they will need to use scales. During our reading time, right now we're doing nonfiction books and we're doing astronomy. And we're doing astronomy books because that's also our integrated unit. Is astronomy. And so we're reading about them, we're drawing models, we're pulling evidence from the text that shows the models.
II, which is integrated inquiry, it's mostly like science and social studies.
Working through NGSS, do small group models, and we do whole group science circles where we're talking to each other about ideas, and we are really working towards equity in the class to make sure that all voices are heard and that we're bringing the whole class along with our understanding of astronomy. We can flex it each week. It can be different, or it can be the same. It just depends on what we need. So that's we really like that block of time, and we're finding that giving them less but more concentrated lessons on the skills that they need, they're moving along just as fast or even faster than if they had 50 minutes a day for math or writing.
So we've been tracking kids for the first time with the MAP screener, and we have results in from a few teams who've done double. We're seeing real positive upward trends of kids who've had Tier 2 intervention versus kids who have not, who may have not been able to fit because they had PE during I-block or a scheduling issue.
I think it's fun because I like how we split up sort of our day or recess, so we're not sitting there in a classroom for 4 hours.
I really like Quest. It's a really good team to be on. I think that's one of the reasons why I really like CrossFit Brook. Also because of the teachers. And all of my friends are on this team, so.
I like it because I don't always like working independent all the time, and I don't always like working in groups all the time. I like having it mixed up, like so you don't always have to rely on your own sources. You can rely on somebody else's sometimes.
We could teach the best way that we knew how, but not have the constraints of subjects.